Good morning once again, Real Life. Welcome to day 8 of our Following Jesus. Following Jesus. Oh no, alright. Alright, let's start again. Good morning, Real Life Church. Welcome to day 8 of our 40-day prayer challenge. It's so good to have you with us once again. Whether you're listening via our church app or our social media channels, we want to continue to encourage you to stay engaged with us. Please continue to send those prayer requests, and we will continue to be praying and standing with you. This morning, it's day 8, and for day 8 of our devotional, I'd love to read to you a portion of the book of the prayer challenge, a quick section. And then we're just going to share around this thought. And this is what the book says about a man. It's actually an amazing, incredible story of an African American man who was a slave, and he basically overcame slavery, and he escaped, I should say, slavery to become one of the most influential men in the history of the world, I believe. And this is his story, and this is what it says. It says, around the turn of the 20th century, the agricultural economy of the South was suffering as the boll weevil devastated cotton crops. The soil was being depleted of nutrients because farmers planted cotton year in and year out. Enter George Washington Carver, one of the most brilliant scientific minds of the 20th century. Carver introduced the concept of crop rotation and encouraged farmers to plant peanuts instead of cotton. The rotation of crops revived the soil, but it didn't revive the economy because there was no market for peanuts. The abundant peanut crop rotted in warehouses because supply was greater than demand. When frustrated farmers complained to Carver, he did what he had always done. He took a long walk and he had a long talk with God. George Washington Carver routinely got up at 4 a.m. and walked through the woods and asked God to reveal the mysteries of nature. Job 12:7-8 was one of the most circled promises in his Bible. It says, "But ask the animals and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky and they will tell you, or speak to the earth and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you." Carver took the promise at face value. He literally asked God to reveal the mysteries of nature, and God answered his prayer. Carver is famous for discovering more than 300 uses for peanuts, for the peanut, but the genesis of those revelations was one conversation with God. In his own fashion, Carver shared the story behind the story, and he said this. He said, "I asked God, why did you make the universe, Lord?" "Ask for something more in proportion to that little mind of yours," God replied. "Why did you make the earth, Lord?" I asked. "Your little mind still wants to know far too much. Ask for something more in proportion to that little mind of yours," replied God. "Why did you make man, Lord?" I asked. Far too much. Ask again," replied God. "Explain to me why you made the plants, Lord," I asked. "Your little mind still wants to know far too much." "The peanut?" I asked meekly. "Yes, for your modest proportions, I will grant you the mystery of the peanut. Take it inside your laboratory and separate it into water, fats, oils, gums, resins, sugars, starches, and amino acids. Then recombine these under my 3 laws of compatibility, temperature and pressure. Then you will know why I made the peanuts." On January 20th, 1921, George Washington Carver testified before the House Ways and Means Committee on behalf of the United Peanut Association of America. The chairman, Joseph Fordney of Michigan, told him that he had 10 minutes. An hour and 40 minutes later, the committee told Carver that he could come back whenever he wanted and take as much time as he needed. Carver mesmerized the committee by demonstrating a myriad of ingenious uses for the peanut, everything from glue to shaving cream to soap to insecticide to cosmetics to wood stains to fertilizer to wash the ceosaurs, how do you say that? The next time you shave or put on makeup, the next time you stain the deck of your fertilize your garden, the next time you enjoy a good old-fashioned peanut butter and jam sandwich, remember that all of those things go back to a man who had the habit of praying at 4 a.m. Those 300 uses of peanut were not good ideas, they were God ideas. And one God idea is worth more than 1,000 good ideas. Good ideas are good, but only God ideas change the course of history. You know why I love that story? I love that story because it actually really speaks to us that no matter how smart you think you are, no matter how talented you are, no matter how gifted you may be, no matter what recognition or position you have in society, there comes a time where we all have to face our limitations. There comes a moment where we all have to come to grips with our humanity and what that means in terms of what we can and can't do. And hopefully in those moments when we realize that and when we recognize that, we turn to a God who we realize is bigger than us, is smarter than us, is more powerful than us, and hopefully we turn to a God who is above us and that we realize that can do more than what we can ever ask, think, or imagine. Hopefully in those moments we realize that we have a God that is big. And this morning, this is what I want to encourage you this morning. We serve a God that is big. And if we serve a God that is big, then He is not scared of your big prayers. If we serve a God that is big, then why are we settling just for the small prayers? This morning, church, I want to encourage you that there is a God who is bigger than us, who is greater than us, who's not afraid of us asking big things. So my encouragement to you and to myself this morning in my prayer time is, let's go back to what we're praying about. Let's go back to what we're bringing before God, and let's make sure that it actually is in line with asking a big God to do big things. Come on, church, have an amazing prayer time this morning as we seek a big God that wants to answer big prayers, that wants to solve big problems. See you next time.